Snakes are some of the most amazing yet terrifying creatures on Earth. Just saying the word snake is enough to make some people recoil in fear or disgust, and it's definitely understandable why. So many of their traits, from their body shape to their scaly texture, are definitely weird. However, there is another trait that some of these snakes have that send them over the top: their size. Some snakes can grow to be absolutely massive. Scattered across planet Earth are a number of species that one could consider to be the giants of the snake kingdom. From the Reticulated Python to the Titanoboa, here are the 5 largest snakes ever found on planet Earth. One reptilian giant that makes the cut for the largest of the species is the African rock python. This colossal snake is found throughout almost the whole of sub-Saharan Africa, all the way from Senegal to Ethiopia and Somalia. Most adult African rock pythons are between 10 and 16 feet in length, or 3 to 5 meters. They are very large, stout-bodied snakes that, if given the chance, are able to take down prey such as wild dogs or baby gazelle. They're constrictors, and so they do not need the added advantage of venom. Typically, they're not dangerous to people, as people are too large for them to eat. But the locals still avoid them, as they will defend themselves if provoked. Documented attacks are exceptionally rare, despite this species being quite common in many regions in Africa. Even fewer deaths have been substantiated. However, attacks have been known to occur. In 1979, in one of the northernmost regions of South Africa, a 4.5-meter African rock python killed a 13-year-old boy. The victim died due to suffocation and internal injuries. His body was only released after intervention by an adult man nearly 20 minutes after the attack began. Saliva on the boy's head indicated that the snake had at one time tried to swallow him, but failed. Although the African rock python is native to Africa, there have actually been some found in the wild in other parts of the world. In the early 2000s, a wild African rock python was captured in the Everglades in Southern California. Also, there have been a few found living around Miami and Sarasota. This is due to the ever-increasing problem of owners not being able to care for their snakes after they grow too large. So, they simply find a quiet spot and release them. It has led to a huge surge in the snake population in Florida. There's no denying that the African rock python is a monstrous snake. However, it pales in comparison to the next snake on our list, the green anaconda. With an average length of 6 meters, it is one of the longest snakes in the world. Some have even been known to grow as long as 8.8 meters, or 29 feet. In addition to their length, they can also be quite bulky. Some of the snakes have measured 12 inches around and weighed in at around 550 pounds. This makes them the heaviest of all snakes. The green anaconda is native to South America. They make their homes in places like swamps, marshes, and streams. It's almost the only place they can live because their weight makes it nearly impossible to slither on land. But they can swim very well in the water. Their eyes and nostrils are on the tops of their heads, allowing them to see and breathe while most of their body is under the water. It makes them perfect hunting machines. In the water is where most of their time is spent hunting. Although they use both sight and smell to hunt, they can also sense heat that is emitted by potential prey. Green anacondas hunt for a variety of animals, including fish, bird, tapirs, wild pigs, capybaras, and caimans. They've even been known to eat jaguars from time to time. Luckily, because their habitats are usually in the most remote and isolated areas, run-ins with humans almost never happen. So there are very few recorded instances of attacks, and even fewer of people actually being killed. Next on our list is a species of non-venomous snake that is native to Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, and Australia, the Amethystine Python. Popular among reptile enthusiasts and noted for its coloration and size, it is one of the 6 largest snakes in the world as measured either by length or weight. On average, these snakes come in around 5 meters or 16.4 feet. However, there have been a few specimens caught that have measured in around 20 feet long, with the largest ever measured at 28 feet long. These large pythons are nocturnal and very solitary creatures. Young individuals spend most of their time in the trees, while adults are more comfortable on the ground. However, they're also very good swimmers. It is not uncommon to find a few amethystine pythons swimming around in streams or swamps. When it comes to their diets, they usually feed on small animals that are unlucky enough to wander by at the right time, or rather, the wrong time. As they are sit-and-wait predators, they will latch onto the animal and kill them by constriction. While these pythons usually stay away from humans, countries like Indonesia have many more people living in rural areas. So, run-ins with these snakes, while few and far between, do happen. Many times, encounters are benign, with the snake usually retreating. However, should someone accidentally step on a snake or stumble upon it while it's hunting, things can turn a little more dire. One such instance in the mid-1990s involved a farmer that had accidentally stepped on a snake. It latched onto his leg and eventually wrapped itself around him. When the family noticed him missing, a search was conducted. He was found a day later, suffocated to death. One of the most well-known of the python species is the reticulated python. These snakes are non-venomous constrictors and are one of the longest species of snake in the world. Females generally reach greater lengths than males, with most wild specimens reaching around 13 to 16 feet in length or 4 to 5 meters. However, there are rare examples of these large snakes reaching over 24 feet long or nearly 8 meters. Typically, the snakes weigh in at around 50 to 75 pounds. However, there have been some recorded to weigh in over 250 pounds. Reticulated pythons are one of the deadliest types of pythons to humans on Earth. One well-known story comes from the country of Indonesia, where reticulated pythons are common. In early 2021, a woman named Wa Tiba had walked out to check on her cornfields when she stumbled across a reticulated python. When she didn't return, her sister went out to find her. However, all she could find were Wa's footprints, a flashlight, slippers, and a machete. A few days later, villagers found a 23-foot-long reticulated python with a very swollen belly. They cut it open to find the body of Wa. This illustrates how deadly they can be. Reticulated pythons are one of the most popular species of snakes to be kept by humans. This has become a problem, especially in places like Florida. As with the African rock python, when owners can't keep them anymore, they tend to simply release them into the wild. Now, reticulated pythons are considered an invasive species in southern Florida. People are allowed to hunt them at any time throughout the year with no license. It is estimated that in the Everglades alone, there are more than 2 million pythons making the area their home. For the last entry on our list, you don't have to worry about running into it. However, if you lived around 1 million years ago, you would have. This extinct snake is known as the Titanoboa and is the largest snake to have ever lived. They could grow to up to 12.8 meters long or 42 feet and weigh in at 1,135 kilograms or 2,500 pounds. At its thickest point, Titanoboa was 3 feet wide, which is wider than a human arm is long. Due to where the fossils of Titanoboa have been found, it is believed that they inhabited the first recorded tropical forest in South America. It shared this environment with some larger species of turtles and lizard-like creatures known as crocodilomorphus. It is on these creatures that the Titanoboa fed, helping to sustain its gigantic size. Since these snakes lived some 5 million years after the extinction of the dinosaurs, it left room at the top of the food chain. So, it had no natural enemies. There is debate among some scientists as to how Titanoboa actually killed its prey. Some think that it did what modern pythons do today, killing by constricting and asphyxiating. However, others believe that even though it looked like a constrictor, it behaved more like an anaconda. lurking in the shadows and ambushing unsuspecting animals with a stunning blow. But no matter what side the scientists fall on, one thing is universally agreed upon: every animal was swallowed whole. It is truly crazy that these snakes can grow to such sizes. They can swallow everything from pets to people whole. Hopefully, evolution will take a break for a few million years and let us live in peace before it decides to create some other monster like the Titanoboa. If you enjoyed this video and want to see another one just like it, be sure to click the link on screen now. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. With that, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.